Greetings, life management students, and welcome to our study session or preparation for exam number 1 video. So my goal in speaking to you now is really to go through your study guide, right? You should have a study guide for exam 1 covering modules 1 through 5. And I want to go through and basically share with you the correct information. I want to make sure that you have the right information to help you study to prepare for exam number 1. Now, understand exam number 1 or all of our exams as an online class, they are going to be open book, or basically you can have your study guide with you as you're going through the questions for the exam. However, it's a timed exam, so you don't have all day to look for answers. And so the more organized you are, the more you have the correct information on your study guide, the better you will do on the exam. So again, just going to briefly run through and make sure that you have the correct information. All right, starting with module 1, definition of values. Our values are what we think, how we feel, how we act. Our values really are a huge part of us, right? They explain how important things are, what we think, how we feel, how we act. Where do they come from? They come from experiences with our family, with our community, which means your neighbors, kids at school, wherever it be, and your faith. All of these 3 things factor into what helps develop your value system. What is the correlation between values and behavior and choice? Your values greatly influence your behaviors and choices. We act on our values. Beliefs. The definition of beliefs is attitudes that come from our values. So if we believe in freedom, if we believe in a free state, then we really value patriotism. We really value the independence and that ability to not be controlled by others. Okay? Negative beliefs, what are they? And give an example. So a negative beliefs are really what we think of as self-fulfilling prophecies. Negative beliefs, self-fulfilling prophecies. So a negative belief would be, an example would be if I said, I can't do that. I can't. Because what happens is as I'm speaking those words, I can't, it becomes true for me. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I end up not being able to do something because I believe it so much. So we don't want to have negative beliefs. How 2 concepts can enable you to change your beliefs. 2 concepts that enable you to change your beliefs. So understanding the power of beliefs. So understand them. They are greatly powerful. And then using positive self-talk. So instead of the I can't thing, it's I can do this, I can. Or maybe I can do goal or step 1 to eventually get to that long-term goal. What is success? Success is the fulfillment of potential. So success is not about money, power, any materialism. Success is given what you have been gifted with. The potential that all of us have, right? Some of us are creative, some of us are analytical, some of us are people persons, some of us are computer people, whatever. All of those different talents that we have, it's the ability to fulfill that potential to be good in those things. Right? In other words, I have no artistic ability. Therefore, I would never become an artist or anything in that area. I can't base my success on being creative because that's just not part of me. 7 beliefs of successful people. Talk about a few of them here. Whatever happens, take responsibility. Don't blame. Take responsibility. If you mess up, take responsibility. You don't need to understand everything to use it. So you don't have to always have a grasp of understanding, but you can use something that's there for you. Others are your greatest resource. This goes against what a lot of us believe, which is that I can do everything on my own. I don't need anyone. That's wrong. You do. Others are your greatest resource, whether they can provide emotional support or whether they can help you find a job. Work is play. So successful people believe that their job, their work is fun. It's not a chore. I don't wake up in the morning and think, oh, I got to go to work today. Bummer. No, they really enjoy what they do. I'm fortunate because I enjoy what I do. Success takes commitment. So you have to stick with it, right? Commitment, stick with it. When you find those obstacles or those barriers or hurdles that you come up against, a lot of us will just say, oh, that's it. I guess it wasn't meant to be. I'll quit. But successful people stick with it and say, okay, I hit that barrier, I hit that hurdle. Maybe I want to achieve it this year, but next year I'm going to keep at it, right? You stick with it. Self-belief. The definition of self-belief is confidence in and respect for your abilities. Confidence in and respect for your abilities. So remember, we're not thinking about you should be like someone else. We're saying that I respect for myself, I respect that I'm not artistic. I'm not artistic, but I'm really good at communicating. I'm really good at loving people, at making people feel good. And these things I enjoy. I just enjoy these things. I'm good at those, right? So having that self-belief, improving your self-belief. So how do we get better? Pay attention to yourself. Who are you, right? What satisfies you? So we get better at our self-belief when we learn what makes us happy. Learning what makes us happy, learning more about you, will help you to then pick things or do things that you enjoy. Use positive self-talk. It's so important to say good things about yourself. Whether it's I can, or it's, you know what, you're awesome today. Or you know what, you're really sporting that jacket today. You look hot, right? Sometimes we have to pump ourselves up because other people don't. Other people bring us down. And so sometimes you need to be your own cheerleader, if you will. Try new things. So try new things. We get stuck in our ruts. We get stuck in doing the same things every Saturday morning or whatever it be. And so try something. Sign up for a class that you never thought you would try, right? Sign up for a cooking class, an art class, or a hiking adventure, right? Something that you've never done before. Ethnic identity. When we know our ethnic identity, it plays this key role in preparation for adulthood. The more secure you are in identifying, I'm a Latina, I am Mexican American, and that is a huge part of my identity. It's part of my ethnic identity. Therefore, it helps you to be more secure. And so it really helps to prepare you for adulthood. So you want to kind of determine how you feel about your heritage. Module 2, talking about engaging in critical thinking. It really means to consider information thoughtfully. So there's some time here. There's a process to consider information thoughtfully. It's not split decisions. Prioritizing. In order to determine the importance of tasks, make a list of what needs to get done, and then place them in order from most important to least important. And that is prioritizing. On the exam, there'll be an example. So it'll be like Lisa made a list of the things that she wants to get done, and then she listed them in order of importance from the most important to the least important. What is she doing? Something along those lines. She's prioritizing. Goals. Goals are outcomes you hope to achieve that guide and sustain your effort over time. We all have personal goals, career goals, educational goals, and for your paper assignment for this class, you will be writing a goals paper. The first step in goal setting is gathering information. So when we think about our goals, the first thing is to figure out like more about myself and just gather information before I list concrete goals. When your goals matter to you personally, you will be more motivated to achieve them. When they matter to you personally, you're motivated to achieve them. An example of a SMART goal. Remember, SMART is that acronym. Complete the first draft of my life management paper by next Friday. So that's an example of a SMART goal because it was specific. It had a timeline of when it had to be done, and that's really important. In that 6 rules for stating goals, one of those 6 is to make it measurable. So your goal can't be something like, I want to lose weight. It has to be measurable. I will lose 10 pounds by March 30th. I know how much I want to lose and by when I want to lose it, right? Measurable. And then come March 30th or April 30th, whatever, I can weigh myself to determine whether I achieved the goal. Creating an action plan, list of steps you'll take to accomplish your goal. So when you create an action plan, it's the list of steps that you need to do to get to the goal. A barrier. A barrier is something that prevents you from making progress towards your goal. Learning and acquiring new knowledge. So in your career, you will be expected to keep learning new skills and acquiring new knowledge and information if you want to advance. So in other words, it's not just learning new skills is not only about school and education. In your job, whether that's going to be a mechanic, whatever it be, you're going to want to continue to learn and grow. What is social capital? We have the lesson on one. Social capital is what I think of as the know-how, right? The network of relationships that provide helpful information. It helps give us a leg up. Module 3. 3 aspects that make up our public self, what we show people: our appearance, our style, and our personality. Appearance, style, and personality. Your social identity are those things that identify you with the particular societal category. So again, whether it be I'm middle income, I'm lower income, whether it be I am someone who is from the Me Too movement, I'm identifying with different social groups within society. Self-esteem is having self-respect and confidence in your own worth and abilities. 3 types of social rewards: affection, praise, and respect. You can really have healthy relationships if you practice giving these types of rewards to your partners and your children, your friends and family, more than material rewards. These are really important. Your critical inner voice is your worst or your true enemy. So that devil that sits on your shoulder, or that voice inside your head that's telling you can't do it, what are you doing here, right? All of that, that is something you don't want to listen to. 3 elements of self-compassion: self-kindness, mindfulness, and common humanity. So 3 elements of self-compassion. Self-kindness, being kind to yourself. Give yourself a break when you make mistakes. Being mindful. Being mindful means living in the moment. So in other words, when we learn something or have a discussion with a partner that's intense, we kind of stay there for a little while and process. We don't just run off to go do the dishes. We want to be mindful. I want to give it some thought. I want to take my time for it. If you ever had a massage or something nice, you want to be mindful when you're in that situation, because it's like, oh, this feels really good. And it's a time for me to relax. It's a time for me to kind of let all my problems and worries go to the wayside. And then common humanity. That means really loving our fellow people. That means caring about poverty. That means being concerned about not only your immediate self and those that you care about directly, but those you don't know. How to increase self-esteem? One way is to unlearn what you've been told about yourself. So again, this is when you've had caregivers or people that have basically said unkind things to you. If they told you you were good for nothing, or that they wish you'd never been born, those ugly words, you need to unlearn it. You need to not believe it, and maybe you have been indoctrinated to it. And so we need to then use that self-talk to unlearn that. Exercise is such a great, it's a physical reliever, but it's also an emotional reliever. So physically, when we exercise, we feel good. Like, even though it hurts, even though you push yourself, after you're done, again, our body releases what the hormone of endorphins. And these endorphins are like happy hormones. And the happy hormones make us feel good about ourselves. And there's something not only physically that feels good inside the body, but emotionally and mentally. We sleep better when we exercise. Be of service. So remember, when you do unto other people, it's going to help build your self-esteem. You will feel better about yourself if you do for other people, right? Doing unto others. What factors affect your self-esteem. Your childhood, definitely. Society, the media, and the people in your life. These 4 things affect your self-esteem. Daily things that derail or kind of take your self-confidence down. Perfectionism. None of us are perfect, therefore we can't aspire to perfectionism. Social media, right? Watching those social media posts and looking at, these unrealistic people, the filters, and thinking, I don't look like that, or I can't do those things, or a messy desk. A messy desk just does something to you again, mentally and emotionally. Clutter is not healthy. Unattainable beauty standards. So again, when we think, I need to look like this, I need to be like this because that's beauty to me and I'm not beautiful. That's wrong. That is bringing your self-confidence down, and we can't be thinking that way. Module 4. 3 key components to motivation are self-efficacy, relevance, and attitude. Self-efficacy, relevance, attitude. Strengthen your sense of self-efficacy. When you can prove to yourself that you're making progress towards your goals or whatever it be, you strengthen your sense of self-efficacy. Because you're like, okay, I haven't achieved my goals, but I'm on my way, making progress. Modeling is the practice of watching others complete a task successfully. They are modeling, you're observing what you want to do. Stress is natural, right? We are all going to encounter stress repeatedly. We've just got to learn to manage it. When an assignment seems irrelevant to you, try to connect the assignment to something that is relevant to you, so something that you can do. Positive attitude is a powerful motivator that can keep you energized and focused on your goals. So, gosh, I love meeting people with a positive attitude. They lift me up, they encourage me. I want to be around them instead of those who bring me down because they have a bad attitude. Intrinsic motivation means that it comes from your inner desire to achieve a specific outcome. It comes from inside. Remember, intrinsic, I-N, inside. Extrinsic motivation, it comes from external forces or outside, such as an expected reward or a negative outcome. And a growth mindset. Having that growth mindset, number 1, you believe that you can improve and you can further develop your skills. You want to grow, improve. Number 2, take personal responsibility for setbacks rather than blame others for them. If you do these 2 things, you have a growth mindset, which means you're going to continue to get better and better. In module number 5, we talked about family. The nuclear family consists of a father, mother, and their biological or adoptive children under the age of 18. A blended family is a family where at least one parent has children that are not genetically related to the other spouse or partner. Fictive kin, those that we consider to be family even though there's no biological relationship. There's no blood relation, but we think of them as family. Family dynamics is the patterns of relating or interactions between family members, the way that we work within a family. The presence of siblings in the home affects a child's development. Connectedness, how emotionally close you are within a family, that connectedness. Family rules, all families have them. All families have a set of rules, whether they're spoken or unspoken, whether you know that when you use a dish, you're supposed to wash the dish, or whether you know that if you hurt someone in some way, you're supposed to say sorry. This is what we do in the family. Or they're unspoken, and sometimes we don't talk about something things. We keep these things, we know them, but we're not going to talk about them with each other, whatever that be. Healthy family relationships provide support, encouragement, and empathy for the family. That's healthy. Forgiveness. 2 things to do with forgiveness. Forgiveness definition is an intentional and voluntary process by which a victim undergoes a change in feelings and attitude regarding an offense and overcomes negative emotions such as resentment and vengeance, even when they're justified, even when you have a right to be angry. Forgiveness is for your own growth and happiness. Remember that. Forgiveness is for your own growth and happiness. I hope that you will use this video, whether you watch it over and over or whether you just listen to the audio and you play it and you listen to it over and over. That will help your information for your exam to kind of sink into your head and your brain, and you will learn it better and therefore be better prepared for exam number one. Good luck, guys.